This is from Apple. We found an issue with your show, the Glenn Beck program, which must be resolved before it's available on Apple Podcast. Your show's been removed from Apple Podcast from the Apple Podcast team. They sent us a link and said, for more details, go to the link. And the link only says, your show has been removed from Apple Podcasts. Well, we got that one, dummy.
These people will always remove you. They promise to kill you last, and a lot of people on the right play ball. And the idea is, well, I want to reach the unreached. I have always agreed with that, right? I've been on YouTube since 2006, I believe, political videos since 2008. Believe me, I understand it. However, we have reached a tipping point where you are precluded on these platforms from telling the truth. And basically, reaching people without the truth is of no value. It's based on a lie. Even if you're not lying, but at a certain point, the half-truth is worse than a lie. So this has now happened with Glenn Beck this week. He's been going through it, and we have some other examples. They're able to throttle you, shut you off at any moment. Wednesday afternoon, without warning, Apple removed all of Glenn Beck's shows. Was this yesterday or did it start Tuesday?
It was yesterday.
It was all yesterday?
This all happened yesterday.
Man, that happened quickly.
Yep.
So they removed all of Glenn Beck's shows, Apple, all of them. And we have some issues that have been going on with Apple this very same week from the podcast platform. Here, let's see his clip first.
Hey, we're just sitting here in my office and we're discussing something that we just saw here. This is from Apple. We found an issue with your show, the Glenn Beck program, which must be resolved before it's available on Apple Podcast. Your show's been removed from Apple Podcast from the Apple Podcast team. They sent us a link and said, for more details, go to the link. And the link only says, your show has been removed from Apple Podcasts. Well, we got that one, dummy. I mean, I cannot imagine what they're basing this one on.
I can't.
I mean, have we even had strikes? Nothing, right? This is crazy.
Now,
crazy.
By the way, before anyone goes into, you like Glenn Beck, I like none of that matters. People should not be removed, period. Okay, I only ask that everyone out there who experiences this, look back. Did they do the same for Alex Jones, for ourselves, for all of these people? I don't care if I agree with them. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to hire them. It doesn't mean you have to pay them, but you should, of course, support people as long as they are not committing a crime, being able to speak their mind on these platforms that are protected by laws as a digital town square. The problem there, the only problem, is a mindset of, I don't think we had any strikes. By the way, we have countless strikes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to do it anyway. We all need to get out of that mindset. Oh, well, Alex Jones he's too extreme on X, Y, Z. It doesn't matter. I don't think we had we've never said anything that would run afoul of these policies. It doesn't matter. And I fully support Glenn Beck being replatformed. It seems like he has been. About 4 hours later, he tweeted that his episodes were back on. They still don't have answers. They were claiming it was a copyright issue. And this is something new as well. Retroactively, they can create copyright issues.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where this is a bigger issue is investigative journalism. For example, we have done Change My Minds, where I think YouTube changed this policy now. Thank you, Mug Club. Where people gave an interview, gave their name, signed a release, and then said, I don't like the way that the interview came across, even though it was unedited, went to YouTube, and YouTube said, we're going to remove it because it's a privacy violation. I said, it's a single-party consent state, and we have a release which we don't need. Doesn't matter. That's our policy. They can make up any rule they want to catch you. And was it this week that as well, was it our show on Apple? You guys can let me know if you're listening on the audio version. They were only uploaded today, all 3 episodes.
Yeah, all 3 were uploaded today.
Even though we were uploading them, people were letting us know, like, hey, I haven't seen your Apple podcast for the show in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And we were like, what?
Yeah.
What's...
No idea why. It was up on Spotify, everywhere else that you can get podcasts, just not Apple. Could just be a glitch. But you'll never know because there's no transparency and your government doesn't want to investigate.
Ridiculous.
By the way, if you have an issue like this, so just so you know how transparent this is, we dealt with this, I think, with Facebook on a live stream for like the Oscars or something like that one time where we went back when we were doing that.
That was the first one, yeah.
They did it immediately. They don't have to give you an explanation. So here's how it goes. If there is a problem, you reach out and say, hey, we have a problem. Please respond within 24 hours. Otherwise, we're going to pull all of your stuff down.
Right.
That's an easy way to do it. Hey, we have an issue. Somebody's saying this. Can you give us some more details? Because they were saying that our thing, we were just restreaming it. It's like, no, it's parody. I was dressed as a gold statue.
You were.
Crying out loud.
You were a good gold statue.
I was a very good gold statue.
Good.
They don't
thought
do
you were
that.
right now.
They just remove you because it takes away all of the momentum.
But
what
so
you were doing.
you're saying you're saying there's a way to. Are you saying what to do when
He's
saying
saying
that
the
they should
default
do
position
this.
shouldn't be to shut off someone's livelihood.
Immediately.
Right.
Immediately.
It should be to not to assume guilt before it's proven.
Is that an algorithm though? Does that happen automatically?
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. They're setting it up to fail. So basically, if I go in right now and I claim something on another person's show, they're going
Right.
to take it off immediately. Now, I don't. I'd love to do an A/B test on conservative versus liberal and see how they handle that. Right? If I make,
we've done it in the past.
Channel, yeah. But if they make that claim, you have to be able to prove that.
Right.
You don't take somebody off in the middle of a live stream because then all of the viewers go, "Oh, I guess they're down. I'm going to go somewhere else," and now you've lost all that momentum.
Right.
That's all they have to do is go, "Oh, whoops, sorry, you had a claim," or "Oh, there's a glitch, a trademark dispute. Sorry, fix it." 4 hours later,
Yeah.
those things don't get resolved in 4 hours.
And to people saying, go and create your... Great, join Mug Club. At least go over to Rumble. People who say, go and create your own if you don't... First off, that's not a valid argument here because we're talking about Section 230. These platforms are created and they're protected by big government. They are one and the same. They are more powerful than most governments. It's not... I don't concede any territory to that argument. But if that's the case, right now, even if you don't have a dime, switch from YouTube to Rumble. And you should do it for everything that you possibly can. And if you want someone to create it, hey, it's the first umbrella network ever autonomously from a mainstream platform on Rumble is Mug Club. We have ourselves, Alex Jones, Nick DiPaolo, Brian Callen, Hodge Twins, Guns and Gear, and we have an investigative unit, and we're going to expand. But it only exists because of people like you. The point is you will always be removed, and they will find a new reason, just like Donald Trump, President Trump with the indictments. And they don't need a reason to ban ideas they don't like. If you say, oh, Alex Jones is too extreme, fine. You say, oh, Glenn Beck is too extreme, which is absurd to say, but fine. You don't like any of those people? Okay, how about Kayleigh McEnany? She was locked out of her Twitter for sharing the New York Post's the Biden story, the Hunter Biden story. I should clarify when I'm talking about a piece of crap Biden, the son.
While she was press secretary.
Not Biden the elder.
It's incredible.
It's her job.
Incredible.
Jordan Peterson was suspended from Twitter because he had an interview with RFK Jr. That was also removed from YouTube.
Unbelievable.
At least I know that's why it was removed from YouTube. I don't know why it was suspended from Twitter. Libs of TikTok, they were removed from Twitter with no explanations. No tweets were even flagged just for reposting other posts. Hey, you may say, I don't like Andrew Tate. Okay, but you shouldn't be removed from all platforms for being a top G.
Whatever that
Top
means.
G.
I say he's like upper middle of the pack G. I don't know, top is a little bit lofty.
Yeah.
But
He was
he's
a
doing all
lowercase
right.
G.
And I can
He was
disagree.
my third best student.
Yes. Alex Jones, of course, still banned from Twitter. Still banned from Twitter. And of course,
all the
ourselves.
places.
How many times have we been suspended? Like, this is the most important. Before we get to mail-in voting, before we get to voter ID, just the Hunter Biden story would have changed that last election, period. Yep. It wouldn't have even been close. What do you think they want to do for the next election? That changes the very future of your country. If you could do that butterfly effect, if you could do the shitty Back to the Future, whichever one it is, where they go to the west.
Stop it.
They're
The
all
third
okay.
one.
They're all good.
Third
Whatever.
one, yeah.
I don't need to get sideways with the Back to the Future people. You would see a parallel world of a dystopian future that you probably can't imagine unless this changes. And you can change it right now. You have a moment in time right now where you can say, all right, we can migrate somewhere else. That's what we all believe in doing, and they are going to come for you anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are a mainstream conservative Mormon. For crying out loud.
Polygamy. What'd you say?
Of course you went there.
What happened?
Of course you went there.
Sorry,
Brian.
guys. This is a serious show. Let's keep going.
If you were to drug test Glenn Beck, it would read, why are you here?
Yes.
The guy is sweet. The guy is not controversial. He just said that himself. He's a decent man. The things that he says are in line with a huge portion of Americans. Oh, they make up a copyright reason, and then they don't give you an answer. They can always create a reason. They can make it up. And do you have anything else you guys wanted to add?
No, we're actually thinking about having Dr. Robert Epstein, I believe is his name.
Oh, I know Robert. I've interviewed him.
Phenomenally
on the
gifted
Brian
guy.
Callen show.
He talks a lot about, like you said, big tech. They can just remove you. And before we get to mail-in ballots and everything else, you're right. This is the new field of battle essentially for us right now, is to make sure, fine, you're not stealing the elections anymore. You're manipulating the elections.
Well, Robert Epstein has shown time and again. And by the way,
With
Robert
Google.
Epstein is a Democrat. He's a self-professed
Harvard guy.
liberal.
Yep.
But he has shown over and over again that Google. So, for example, the videos that Google will push towards the youth are, I think, 98% have a 98% left-leaning bias. But also the fact that I think if you were a Democrat, you saw when it was time to vote, you got this message that said "Go vote."
Yep.
If you were if you listen to right-wing radio or whatever, you didn't get that.
Right.
He's done a lot of research. It's kind of
really interesting, and he's in a show called The Creepy Line, which is basically the search bar for Google. It's what they called it because they're not just giving you information; they're actually manipulating what you do. That changes elections. And a lefty from Harvard who absolutely would disagree with us on a ton of issues is saying this is a problem. We need our elections to at least trust that what happened on election day is accurate. Yeah. We need to trust that and that nobody's messing with that. Remember when they were talking about Cambridge Analytica and how it affected Brexit and all that stuff that happened over there? That is child's play.
It's not even close
compared to what he's talking about with Google and those guys. Yep. Child's play.
Yeah. Well, take an example. Let's take this company right here. We're foregoing many millions of dollars, right, in revenue with just YouTube and Google.
Just YouTube. Yeah.
We don't get a dime from that, right? And that has been, and then Facebook created this competitor, right, where they were saying, oh, we're going to compete, and then basically they became one and the same. There is no competition really in the ad space right now, and Rumble actually just made a new announcement regarding this. I don't have the ins and outs of it, but you can go and follow Chris Pavlovsky on Twitter. So we forego many, many millions. Okay. How many other people out there like us? How many other companies out there forego many, 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 many millions of dollars, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if they're an upstart that they could use to amplify their message? Oh, and by the way, they can't even use the resources they do have because they're throttled and they're not allowed to advertise. Take this program, multiply it by several 100,000 other people out there trying to do the same thing. On the flip side, you get the right of way. You get the express lane. If you're a leftist, not only do you get tens of millions of dollars on YouTube and on Facebook, but you get preferential treatment so that your stories get thrust into someone's feed. Just take that. You see how much that shifts the balance? This is why appeasing crocodiles is futile. And this is why we have migrated to Rumble. Nothing would make me happier than to never have to broadcast on YouTube ever again.
Right.
The closest we can do right now is use them as long as they are useful, and we don't make a dime. Stephen Colbert does, though. Yeah, every time we run one of his clips, they get to claim. They get to claim the revenue. At any time, they can pull you.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.